Okay?
Hey Fido, nice Kiss shirt. And we're Strutter, and we chew them up and we spit them out.
Hi-ho, everybody. Welcome to it. Episode 52 of
Hey man, nice Kiss shirt.
You know, and Powie wasn't blowing smoke up my ass when he said it to me as a result of this fine piece of duds that I got today. Thanks to Xander. Thanks to KissMuseum.com.
This is bad.
Why am I displaying? I'll be displaying.
It's badassery.
But
finest.
yeah, you may recognize it as some artwork from the Marvel Super Special #1.
I didn't recognize it.
You will.
I will. You will. I will. And I got this from Kiss Museum as well, Xander and the Haglin, and
that's right.
it was great.
That's
it was like Andrew Scambetti's movie was going on, and after that, Xander's like, anybody come up here for a free-for-all and give me a price.
He was wheeling and dealing. Making Kiss Museum hearts happy at the, what was that, December 13th? Once again, both of these shirts were scored at the Kiss Army Homecoming, 50th Homecoming.
Badassery, and I'm still hungover.
Yeah, good times.
Yeah. And the weather is actually almost the same as it was on the way there.
Yeah, it's kind of, it's a little bit blizzardy up here in Flint, Michigan. But we can hang.
This shirt is cool. Thanks again, Xander and Daphne and everybody who put that on. That was rock and roll all night.
Get on over to Kiss Army Things. Check out their latest episode. They recently had their Christmas giveaway.
I want to see that.
There's all kinds of fun stuff coming around the bend for those guys. And for you, too, if you stick with us.
Stick with us.
So we're going to jump right into it.
It's rock and roll all night and journal every day.
We're getting a glare here?
In the glare.
Yeah, that's what it is.
What is it?
It's a year-long guide celebrating the fun of being a Kiss fan. Funny you should ask.
Thank you. It's by Rick Howard.
Eventually, we will get to the year's end in this book. It's going to bleed over into 2025.
2026.
I got zero. Oh, yeah, 2026.
Because it's 2025.
I got zero problem with that because I'm really digging this.
We're going for it.
And as soon as we get done with this book, we're going to crack into Wax Night.
Because it's different.
Because it's the new Rick Howard joint.
That you haven't brought down here yet.
Head on over to It's All For You, Demon.
Head there.
Get yourself a little taste. He's got big things coming up in the new year for the Wax Night Basement.
That's badass.
Pretty stoked about that. So let's kick it off with November 5th. Name a Kiss collection you have yet to complete. For example, obtaining all 4 versions of the Milton Bradley puzzles, the Stuart Hall notebooks, or the Mego dolls. Does this sound like a fun collecting goal for next year? Put pen to paper and commit to a new Kiss collecting completion goal today. So I'm going to start this one off. I made some notes. All I want is Gene's autograph on my Silverdome poster. Because I don't have it. I've got everyone else's. I've even got Bunny Carlos and Rick Nielsen from Cheap Trick on that poster. But I don't have Gene. That's always going to be my bucket list thing. That's going to be my goal for this and every year. Have a sit down with Gene. Never met the Demon. I have to do that. And I have to get him to sign my Silverback poster. And maybe some belt buckles. I'm not trying to break the bank with a complete collection of Kiss Pacifica. So in terms of completion, I'm trying to think of the things, you know, the collections that I have nearly complete, or you know that I'm close to the finish line on. Maybe it'd be cool to have a set of boxes for my Mego dolls, because I've got all 4 of the Mego dolls.
Yeah.
It would also be cool just in 2026 to get another Dynasty piece. Maybe some Dynasty confetti. I've got a sponge. I've got the I was there button. I've got a ticket stub. I've got my program. Maybe another variant of the Dynasty program, like the Dynasty. Forget which version has got the Gene Sun ad as opposed to my version. I think mine is version 1. It's got the Paul Ibanez PS10 ad. But I'm not really a variant collector. I've got both sets of cards. So yeah, there's not a ton of things that I'm really hyper focused on for completion's sake. But you mentioned something a minute ago about, and it was based off of your enthusiasm for my shirt, that you'd be hip on some Kiss comics.
I would, because that's, like I said, is like what I want the AI thing to be is like live action. As much as live action as it can be, anyway, it look is Kiss, being superheroes, like the Marvel Cinematic Universe type situation where they find themselves in battle with the bad, evil forces of the darkness.
And as you may be aware, you're tangentially aware that there are several publishing companies there's a few different Kiss comics that have been printed over the years. Different
some authorized
lines.
and some not.
Yep.
So like that, I'd be into that sort of thing to see, have a collection of that sort.
The Psycho Circus comics, perhaps.
That's McFarlane stuff, I think, isn't it? Todd McFarlane.
Yeah.
The Spawn guy. I don't like the way he draws. I didn't like the way he drew.
Well, and I suggest, I might just do like a little random plug. I'll just the Kiss Compendium is it's got all. Well, I don't know if it's exhaustive, if it's like complete. If you're into the comic side of Kiss, that's a good reference. So let's get into this. Let's have some fun with November 6th. This might get your taste buds a-tingling. Create a Kiss-themed pizza for each member of the original lineup. What ingredients will each pizza have to make it uniquely Gene, Paul, Peter, and Ace?
Dude, I have no clue. I have no idea.
You have some clue.
I got nothing. I was like, Gene might have a meat lover's pizza because he's all about his meat, whatever. Paul would probably have like pineapple because he's just like that.
Gene's all about his meat. Paul's fruity. I see what you're doing there.
I see what you did there.
Yeah.
Ace would probably have cocaine on his pizza.
Yep, a nice side of beer.
Maybe.
See, you've known that for decades.
And Peter as well.
16 magazine filled it in for us.
Some painkillers ground up on there too. Some OxyContin or something.
Yeah, some extra toppings.
Tell me what you got.
I did a bit of research on this, and some of it is bullshit, some of it's accurate. See if you can separate the wheat from the chaff.
I like that.
All right. Well, let's the Paul. He put it out there, man. He's quite a pizza chef. He's got a pizza oven in his crib.
Yeah, I knew about that.
He does it up. So here's Paul's. Be a Trader Joe's crust with raw arrabbiata sauce, reduced, of course. Paul likes to cook down the jarred sauce. Don't blame him one bit, man.
I thought he grew his own tomatoes and made his own.
He's like, you can cook down some San Marzanos, and I'm sure like a lot of days he does that, but raw does make a good arrabbiata, which is like, that's angry. So it's like it's a spicy sauce. Okay. So he put some arrabbiata reduced on that. Burrata cheese, prosciutto, portobello that he prepares and sort of par cooks himself. He likes to, I mean, he got real specific in this interview I read. He's like scooping out the innards of the portobello so they're not too watery. And,
Wow.
yeah, and onion, you know, cooking down the onion. Paul goes to town on his shit. He's got a 900-degree coal-fired stone oven. Pizza's done in about 3 minutes.
Crap on a crutch.
Yeah, and he mentioned some crust recipe that he likes, but I'm not.
Wow.
I'm not getting that deep in the weeds.
Wow.
He said the Trader Joe's that, and that's, you know, let's make it accessible for the fans. If you want to go to Trader Joe's and get their pizza crust, you too can enjoy Starchild-esque pies at your leisure. Okay, so Gene, old answer, you know, New York boy Gene would, he'd be hitting up Ray's Pizza in New York City, Manhattan, presumably, or maybe it was Queens. I'm not sure. I've never been there.
Pass the cheese?
Now Gene is a Chicago deep dish kind of guy.
Oh, man.
You know,
Lefties in San Diego.
You like the Chicago style deep dish too?
Authentically, it's Chicago as a Chicago guy would. Yeah,
He'd give it a pass.
He did. My old supervisor was from Chicago, and he's like, "This is about the best you're gonna get in San Diego is lefties."
Nice. It's not my favorite style, but I like a Detroit pie. But this isn't about me. This is about the fearsome foursome.
What's left?
Now this place I have been, and I can vouch. I can vouch for Louie's and Ernie's in the Bronx. It's about as a classic pizza joint as you're gonna get.
Still want to try
the
New York pizza. We had a place in San Diego called Giant New York Pizza, but it was just
a big floppy slice.
Just a big, it's a big, like 28-inch pizza, basically.
Yeah.
It's giant pizza. Yeah. Just Chaldean guy.
Yeah, Louie's and Ernie's has got big pies, big slices. Yeah, that's of course, you know, Ace being the Bronx boy that he is. That's Ace's, and then Peter's. Here's a little.
What's the toppings
on the Louie's and Ernie's?
Yeah,
probably just pepperoni.
Mm-hmm.
Ace is he's pretty
Simple guy.
kind of a no frills kind of a dude from
right.
all I could gather. And Peter, the 16 magazine callback. Okay, here's an assignment for those of you. FL Dog, you might have this. Rick, you might have this too. There's probably a few of you guys that have. It was the issue of 16 where Peter first appeared unmasked with his beard and his English sheepdog Katie and his recipe for hamburger corn pie. So not really having any clues as to Peter's preference. I think Peter would rather have, if he's eating Italian food, I think he'd rather eat pasta than pizza. But this hamburger corn pie, it's always been a bit of an in-joke with me because I got that issue on, you know, when it came out fresh off the newsstand, and being a dumb kid and actually wondering and like giving a shit like what superheroes eat. So to read a recipe about Peter Criss and his hamburger corn pie, I thought that shit was real, but it was probably just made up by Randy Ricefield or another editor at 16. As we move on to November 7th, I'd like to wish a happy birthday to Tommy Thayer. Boom. There you go. A little late, but he's still old. He's still here. He's still Tommy. What is your favorite Tommy Thayer costume and song, including songwriting credits? You got one for this?
I thought he only had like one costume, except for the fact was that when he used to wear what Ace used to wear.
Oh no,
like the Elder, he wore the Elder costume, and he wore the 75 costume. So I guess that one.
I remember that. Maybe it was in the FAQ, him taking some heat for that costume And somebody
Supposedly-
said, you know, looking like he got it from Spirit Halloween, or
The 75, like the Alive costume.
like with the like the Saturn rings in the shoulders.
Geez,
they
they
kind of like, you know, with
supposedly
the two lightning bolts.
supposedly Paul gave him the originals. That's what I thought.
Really?
Because Cold Gin played Paul's 40th birthday party or something, and Paul liked them so much because they were just wearing Kiss T-shirts each one.
Yeah.
So my understanding was that Paul said, if you want to go out there in costume, I got.
No shit, I was not aware.
And they look pretty authentic to me from what I saw, and I seen them in the freaking club.
So that'd be like, technically, I guess, 75.
I think it's on YouTube, even the gig they did in San Diego, and I think that's the one we went to.
Well-
Jamie St. James on drums as Peter. I did not know that.
Oh, you
Black
didn't
and
know
blue
that?
guy. Yeah, I did not know that.
Because he's probably wearing a wig. He's probably had dark hair.
Right.
'Cause I don't think he ever dyed his hair. But mine would be like the one you mentioned a minute ago, the elder with the form fitting with the zigzag.
He wore that.
You know, I mean, and ironically, like I'm cut a little different, where I think it's unfair. I mean, I don't know. I mean, opinions are like assholes. Everybody's gonna have one. Tommy gets a lot of heat to the degree that he rips off Ace or whatever. And for me personally, like, that's when I like Tommy the most, is when he's ripping off Ace. I mean,
I guess, yeah. It's like, yeah.
you know, I mean,
If you're gonna play the lick, play it.
say what yeah, I mean, say what you will about the ethics of replacing somebody or wearing the makeup or whatever. I'll admit, I wasn't keen on Eric and Tommy. You know, initially I would have liked to seen them get their own designs or whatever, but like, you know what, dude, it is what it is, man. It's like nobody got strong-armed into like signing off their makeup rights. Those guys made their choices, and it's like, hey, whatever, man. I will not tolerate Thayer disrespect here. Not in my house. But you do what you do. So for me, yeah, it's the Elder, the 2017. Because I don't think he wore that Elder costume on tour. I could be wrong. I think he just wore it in like promos, like when he sold his guitar.
Mm-hmm. And then I guess they did it on the Kiss Cruise.
Yeah, probably.
And then, so, like, getting back to, like, his...
So what about the songs, though? Yeah, like the other part of the question.
I guess I don't know too much about his songs except for, like, Out of This World, which is okay. I guess that's the one. Is there others?
Well, my pick is his co-write, and I guess I'd have to consult with Julian Gill and find out exactly. You know, I'm sure he's done a video on this. Julian's homework is impeccable generally, and as far as what time he contributed to Childhood's End. That's my favorite song on Carnival of Souls. It's just it's an oddball tune. I like to think that like Tommy's angle is what makes it not a typical Gene song, and I'm not sure if Paul has a credit on Childhood's End. I think there's a third writer. I don't know that it's Paul, but I know Gene and Tommy are responsible for that song, and yeah, so that's my answer. Moving on to November 8th, of the Pacifica belt buckles from 77, which featured the artwork of Destroyer, Rock and Roll Over, and Love Gun. Which of the three do you think best suited a belt buckle, and do you own any of these?
Probably Rock and Roll Over, because it's probably my favorite studio album, which we'll get to later. And that just the design is cool as hell, and looks like it should, because Love Gun and Destroyer basically are them four, like in line, like that, not like this, but like that, like Destroyer and Love Gun,
like that.
But you know, Destroyer and Love Gun are basically them standing there.
Those Ken Kelly paintings are pretty
yeah.
similar in their like the composition of the bodies.
Yeah. Right.
And my answer is the same as yours
I like
for
rocking
that
all over.
reason. Because
it's
when you
good.
shrink them down to a belt buckle, I mean, most of the time people don't see your belt buckle unless you show them. So
I think he's going to show you,
I
JR.
think he's going to show you, JR. But, like, yeah, I just think if you can see a person's belt buckle, if they got their shirt tucked, if they're walking down the street at you, rock and roll over design, that iconic saw blade circle with those 4 bold cartoon faces, like, that's what's going to jump out. So I think that's your answer for best suited. We're on the same page as far as that goes. I do have those.
Break out. I thought you were going to break out.
I don't have the. I guess I could break them
We're
out.
going to do show and tell.
Well,
he's going to show you, JR.
No, you know
wait,
what?
there's more.
Because
Way to go, Ace. And while they were still shaking, I'll wrap up the leftovers with a little help from my friend. Oh, I didn't know it said
see, it's the shirt that keeps on giving.
It does.
No, I'll just show a picture. I'll put a picture up of my part of my belt buckle collection because eventually I'd like to keep this pod going, and eventually I'm going to run out of Rick Howard books. So
keep writing, Rick.
Then it's
Get the scribbling.
Let's see what November 9th has to say. Do you play more Kiss music on vinyl, cassette, CD, or streaming? Which is your favorite format to listen to Kiss?
I play on streaming or whatever. Most of now, anything I listen to comes on something else, like YouTube or whatever. I prefer listening to the vinyl, though, because you get to break it out and you get to look at the Casablanca label and take back to those thrilling days of yesteryear where all you had was the vinyl and you looked at it and read the liner notes and what have you, and who wrote what, who sang what I used to think. I saw Hard Luck Woman, Paul Stanley. I'm like, oh, that's not Paul's voice.
You're right. Yeah, what I call the D. Clark syndrome.
Right.
When I got Alive 2, I was convinced that
Dick Clark.
Dick Clark didn't write any way you want it. He didn't sing it either. But yeah, again, 2 questions in a row. Powie and I are in lockstep. It's definitely vinyl for me. And yeah, I mean, there's a couple of things, the Dress to Kill box, the Off the Soundboards. There's stuff that I don't have on vinyl. I'm trying to think if there's like a classic era. No, I have everything. Trying to think what I don't have on vinyl that I only have on cassette. Nope, I've got Asylum. I've got Crazy Nights Out in the Shade.
That's interesting.
I don't have. I have to listen to Carnival of Souls on CD because I don't have that on vinyl. There's a couple of the later releases. I don't have Monster on vinyl. I don't have Sonic Boom on vinyl. So, aside from a couple of outliers that I have to listen to on physical media, I listen to everything I can on vinyl. So, yeah, that's the way for all the reasons you describe and more. November 10th, Music from the Elder was released on November 10th.
Oh, man.
Anyone that knows me knows how much I love the Elder. So, I think I'll have more to say on this topic than you will, but it's all for you, Demon wants to know. What's your favorite track from Music from the Elder? Do you find yourself listening more to one-off tracks or the album as a concept whole from beginning to end?
I would say probably my favorite would be The Oath, and I guess that's like because of the Fridays video that I like to watch. That one, I like that. Probably that's the one that I would. I mean, I don't really find myself going out of my way to listen to Odyssey, even though it would be, in my opinion, that Gene should have sang it.
Oh, yeah. I think you've mentioned that before. That
I
would
think-
be kind of interesting.
I think it would have been better as a Gene vocal than a Paul vocal.
Now, conversely, I know this is quite a sidebar, but imagine if Odyssey were a Gene song and World Without Heroes were a Paul song. Do you think World Without Heroes?
Wasn't World Without Heroes was a Paul song? Every little bit of your heart, wasn't it? That was the music. I think so. I think probably would have worked better as Paul vocal. I didn't think about that.
Nobody. Well, the things we don't think about here on.
Hey man, nice kiss shirt.
You better think about it.
You better think about what you try to do to me. Oh, think.
All right. Enough of that shit. No, I have to answer the question still.
Urethra Franklin.
It's always a toss-up with me. Only You or Under the Rose. Both great songs. I mean, I like the whole album, but and thusly, I do listen to it as a whole. Sometimes I break up the monotony and I play the Japanese version, you know, the more sort of the one with better conceptual continuity, as it were. But I've only because I've sequenced that into a playlist. I don't have the European or the Asian version that has that actual track sequence. But if I did, I would kind of change it up. You know, the U.S. version is the one burned into my brain. But yeah, I like to listen to the whole thing because the elder rules. Yeah, it just depends on the day whether it's Under the Rose or Only You. So, moving on to November 11th, Rock and Roll Over was released on November 11th.
And that, my friends, is a great day.
So, the question is,
What's the question?
which is better, Destroyer or Rock and Roll Over, and why?
Well, not to slag Destroyer, because Destroyer is great. Destroyer is fantastic. But in my opinion, Destroyer is a Bob Ezrin record. It is permeated with Bob Ezrinisms everywhere throughout the album. It is, even Ace Frehley said Destroyer was primarily a Bob record. Bob called the shots. Bob came up with parts. Bob, you can hear Bob's drumming in like Flaming Youth. The way Bob wrote parts.
You can hear Bob's calliope in Flaming Youth.
Yes.
Like you can hear his indelible stamp on the whole shooting match.
Eddie Kramer let Kiss be Kiss. Eddie Kramer let them be what they were, and he let Ace have that guitar sound. He did come up with a difference between Paul and Ace's guitar sounds, which, I mean, when I was little, I didn't know the difference that much. I thought Ace played all the solos. There's one where Paul starts out, I Want You.
Well, yeah, I Want You.
That's
and
Paul and then
I
Ace.
feel like there's a couple. Are there a couple of those?
I think Paul plays Come On and Love Me, but I know for sure I Want You.
Oh, no, I mean on Rock and Roll Over specifically.
Rock and Roll Over, I know it's I Want You, and I don't know if Paul plays another solo. I Stole Your Love. That starts out Paul and then goes into Ace.
That's always, I thought, always a cool trick, you know? You can tell. You can definitely tell.
I like Eddie's style with the production and the songs, and freaking works.
Once again, what's that? 3-4 questions now? Fido and Powie in lockstep.
As always. I mean,
Yeah.
well, shoot. Yeah.
Well, not always.
Well, not always,
You're
but
not an
definitely.
Elder fan, but
But if you're gonna give me Rock and Roll over Elder, no. Destroyer, man, I love Destroyer. It's a great album.
I do too. And it's
But the more you know, and the more you hear, like when you listen to Alice Cooper stuff, you listen to Lou Reed stuff. It's so
very Ezrin.
Ezrin. You get the Ezrin
I'm
things.
I'm nostalgically attached to it. You know,
And again, it was my first album.
it's my first studio.
It's my first album that I bought with my own hard-earned dollars.
Yeah, same. The reason I have the Alive box set and the Destroyer box set was because those are my first 2 Kiss records. They're just burned into the brain. But as far as quintessential Kiss, the one that I always turn people on, if people need to be turned on to Kiss, I almost always start with Rock and Roll Over. It depends on the person, but for the most part, that's the record that Kiss sounds like. If I want people to know what Paul Stanley's songwriting is, I play him Mr. Speed. I mean, it's all there, people. It's all there.
It's all for you, Demon.
Yeah, it is. That's gonna do it.
That's it?
That's gonna do it for this week's episode of
Hey, man, nice Kiss shirt.
Oh, Javier, I'm gonna have to send you a message in the comments. I still don't know how to get a hold of you to send you your prize.
It's a Flint Firebirds hat. No.
It's not.
I'm kidding.
But it's a Kiss prize.
It's a Kiss prize.
So if you're watching this, hit me up on Instagram. Hit me up in the YouTube comments. Let me know how to get this to you.
I got something for Christmas.
Oh yeah.
What is it?
See this up here?
See that up there? I was supposed to have one handy, but
Maybe I'll post a pic.
Post a picture.
You probably see it's the Levine years. It's the Barry Levine photo book, and I got it for Powie for Christmas, and he's digging it.
I'm digging it.
So, but no, I wanted to again thank you all for watching as you do. Put your 2 lips together, kiss that subscribe button, and remember the words of Georgi Zindalo Hungaros. Play hard.
Play fair.
Nobody hurt.
There.
Hey, man.
Nice Kiss shirt.
It's the Remco.
Yeah.